Hey there guys, welcome back to another awesome video. We have another movie review. Today's movie review is going to be of Black Adam. So Black Adam is kind of about Teth Adam, aka Black Adam, Shazam's greatest enemy, one of DC's notorious villains, and the first champion the Wizard ever chose, as he is awoken after many years later, destined to be both Kahndaq's greatest savior, but also Kahndaq's greatest destroyer. So this movie is directed by, I'm gonna butcher this name, and I have it written down just in case, is I'm gonna say Hame, I don't know, it's Jaume, Colette Serra. I'm gonna assume this might be his directorial debut, or I don't know, I've never heard of this guy until now. And it's been taking me a little while to get to this movie. I know this came out 2 years ago, and because it's been out for 2 years, just in case, I'm still going to mention that there might be a spoiler or two here and there about it, even though I don't think it really matters at this point, because over the years, have had very much mixed feelings about this movie, from its announcement to how much The Rock was just trying to hype up Black Adam and how much he's gonna change the game and change the extended universe and everything else. And obviously that went so well, because now it's like you hyped up your character and you hyped up your movie so much that it didn't do so well successfully, and also it doesn't go anywhere because now James Gunn's running the show and he's pulling the DC strings and not Dwayne Johnson. But before we get into the nitpicks and things, because let's be honest, this wasn't really the greatest movie that DC put out. This wasn't really the best, but this wasn't the worst. I will say The Rock, I will say Dwayne Johnson is cool as Black Adam. He does some really great stuff with the character. I feel like whenever he's actually trying to channel that inner Black Adam, that inner villain, I think he really tries his hardest. And then there's like maybe a few fumbles here and there, but like when he does it, he does a pretty good job. He does a stand-up job, I will say that. I think, honestly, the Justice Society, which is like a smaller version of the Justice League, that he's like an anomaly and that, hey, he's around, Black Adam exists, and we need to like take you in before you cause more damage to Kahndaq. Speaking of the fact that it's a smaller Justice League team, feels really weird, because the Justice Society is a small group, but this is like a group of 4 heroes. I feel like this should have more. Like, I feel like this should have like Stargirl or Jay Garrick or Alan Scott or Wildcat or Metamorpho or some other heroes involved, especially when you're going up against a god like Black Adam. Honestly, Cyclone and Atom Smasher, they're okay. The ones that I feel like are the best and stand out the most, and I feel like are the best part about the movie, is both Dr. Fate and Hawkman. I feel like they share the most connection. They share the most like chemistry together as best friends. They kind of know each other for a little bit, even though technically Kent Nelson, aka Dr. Fate, is the oldest. You at least have Hawkman, who they just feel like they just connect well and connect better compared to the youngins of the group. Plus, I feel like they just gave better performances. I like the guy who was Hawkman, and the fact that Pierce Brosnan is Dr. Fate's pretty freaking awesome. And I just love Dr. Fate. Like, you can literally make a Dr. Fate movie and I'd just be on board for it. I'm surprised that Dr. Fate never mentions Naboo whatsoever, and how the more of the logistics of the helmet and all the limitations the helmet has when you put it on, you take it off, and all this other stuff. And I have no idea which approach they were going with for Hawkman, but there's nothing mentioned about Thanagar, or the fact that maybe this is like the CW version origin, where an Egyptian god reincarnated as this hawk person. Just smaller minor things that I'm surprised were never like mentioned, or little hidden details or Easter eggs, but still love these guys nonetheless. Outside of that, and Dajan Houzu as the Wizard, who I feel like anytime you have Dajan Houzu in a movie, he's fucking phenomenal, and I actually love him as the Wizard. Other than that, I feel like everything in this movie just feels very meh. Like, it's not great, but it's not terrible. It teeter-totters on a scale. Like, for example, there's these human characters, this family we follow, who apparently discover Black Adam. I could care less for them. Like, you don't really have to have them. They're just there. They're just serviceable just for the plot, just for the sake of, hey, we discovered Black Adam and we're trying to tell them about the world and how Kahndaq is different. Which, by the way, I know that like we're in modern day time, but I preferred old Kahndaq versus new Kahndaq. Like, I wish we saw more of like, not necessarily old Kahndaq, but more of like pyramids, more of the desert, more of like ancient Egyptian type aesthetics and locations, rather than just cities and suburbs and streets and alleyways. I wanted to see less of that and more of like the desert, more of the sand, more of like a open area and an environment and kind of an atmosphere, and it'd be less collateral damage for conduct to suffer for. And the villain's kind of weak, and it doesn't help with the fact that it's the same actor who played Jafar in the 2019 live-action Aladdin movie. You know this guy has a bad rep when he is tasked to basically play yet another shoddy, crummy, shitty CGI deity. How original. I will at least say this too, that seeing Amanda Waller and Henry Cavill in the post-credit scene was very cool, but it doesn't really build up to anything because that universe is dead, and anything that they had post-credits for is kind of just dead on arrival, like floating like a dead fish. Also, it's kind of a damn shame that Dr. Fate had to die, but whatever. I'm going to give Black Adam, I'm going to at least give it a C+. So, Black Adam, have you guys seen it? What did you think of it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please smash that like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. We do awesome videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell to new videos every week. Share the video with your friends, all the good stuff, and more. Leave suggestions down in the comments. You name it, I'll look at it as best as possible. This is probably going to be uploaded after my movie tag video that I have, so there'll be an annotation to that here. And then you guys can go check out later this week or next week will be my 5 years of being on YouTube, but also my 500 subscriber goal, even though at this point I've reached more than 500, but still. Look out for all sorts of crazy things and fun things to see. So thank you guys so much for watching. Now I'll see you next time.